Welcome to SAS Collections training videos. My name is Brian Poirier, and I am a summer student of the Museum Association of Saskatchewan. I will be your instructor today, teaching you the basic functions of SAS Collections database. This video will show you how to input the basic information of a record, so you will be seeing how to properly catalog things like the object name, a session number, category, materials, dimensions, date range, and more. To start, I think we should define what an object record is in the context of the database. Object records are the most common record created on SAS Collections. Object records can be archival items, artifacts, or artworks. Each type has a different field applied to them, so select the record that best suits the object that you are cataloging. Now that we know what an object record is, let's move on to create one. So to start out, we're going to start out at the dashboard, go to the new drop-down menu, select Object, and today we're going to be cataloging a sculpture, so we're going to go into Artifact. First, we are going to input an accession number. So for our session numbers, the year indicated at the start of the accession number was the year that the object was acquired. So for this, I'm going to put 2022 as that was the year this was acquired. Then we are going to put the lot number that it is in, and then the object number, which is number 8. If you have any previous numbers from different systems, you can input them here in previous numbers. We do not, so we will move on to the next box, which is object name and title. Here it's important that we use nomenclature to keep our data clean. So we're going to go down to category to figure out the nomenclature categorization for this item. So I know that art falls under communication objects, so I'm going to click that. Then we're going to click art. Then we're going to go down to sculpture. Once that's chosen, you're going to go to carving and scrimshaw. And that will be what you will use as your object name / title. For your alternate object name, you can use something more common. So I will put Indigenous Siren Sculpture. Now that that is done, we're going to go back to the category box. At the bottom, you will see that there is all of the nomenclature categorization. You're going to copy paste that into the category box below. As there is no manufacturer, we're not going to be using that box. The maker here is unknown, so in the artist maker box, we're going to put unknown. For the source, we are going to use the entity record that we created in the video before. So that will be Miss Christina Michelle Smith. And that should come up, and you can select that. Following this, you are going to want to fill in the description box. I suggest that you write this in a separate Word document, proofread it, and then copy paste it into your description box. I want to just go in a bit more detail about how a person should be writing a description. For this type of description, you will want to go into as much detail as possible of what the item looks like. You should be able to see the item in your head without a photograph of the object. So in all, just be very descriptive with your words. So I'm going to copy paste my description in. paste. Oh, and we're going to do that. And there we go. Now that that is done, you can if you have any marks or labels on your artifact, you can insert what they are here. For the date of the object, it was appraised at approximately 1655 to 1758, so we're going to add that. Materials for this is moose antler. Following this, you will then want to note the measurements of the item. For the dimensions, you can use imperial or metric measurements. So here I am going to do 17 inches in length. It is 7 inches across. It is 1 foot high. We don't have the depth measurement. It is a 2-pound sculpture with a 10 centimeter thickness. Then you can go down to acquisition. This was a bequest. You can choose either bequest, gift, or purchase. For the access, you are going to want to keep this not accessible to the public until the entirety of your cataloging on this item is done. So we're going to keep it not accessible to the public, and we're going to go down to the status and choose editing in progress, and then we are going to save the item. Now that the item is saved, a side panel has shown up with a bunch of different options here. So I'm going to go to media first and add a picture of the item before we move forward. So you can upload media. It will come up like that if you are on a Mac. We're going to keep this not accessible to the public. The status of this is still editing in progress. There's no photograph number, so we are going to save that, and it should come up as such. So we're going to go to the summary button here on the side panel, and this in turn is what your final basic description should look like. So that is how you create an object record and record the basic information. Following this, you have different options. You can add enriched information, which contains details about the artifact, including the medium, subject/image, province of origin, publication information, etc. So I will just go through here and show you quickly. So the subject/image, we would put indigenous siren. It is not a gift, so we'll just put no for gift agreement. Province of origin here is Newfoundland and Labrador. Country of origin is Canada. And I would mark this as it is an indigenous carving and comes from indigenous culture. I would mark it as culturally sensitive. Culture, I would put Beothuk, as that is the peoples who made it. The period would be 16th to 17th, 17th to 18th century. And we would put the color as white. And that is what I would put in for that. If you have any more information such as the origination, parents' dates, component parts names, manufacturing technique, serial numbers, etc., you can add them in. So I'm going to save this and move on. We have already added media. So you'll see at the top right hand corner of this panel, so there's no gift agreement, and now it is marked as culturally sensitive material. So moving forward, we've already gone over how to upload media. I will go over the Rights tab, which contains copyright information, other legal rights or restrictions for an artifact, as well as the credit line if the donor has requested a particular acknowledgement. The next button is Admin Info, which contains additional administrative data pertaining to the artifact, like appraisal and tax information. Object History, for information about how the object was used or its ownership history. So you can see here, history of use. If you want to deaccession an item, you can do that here. Original owner's name, it is unknown, so I wouldn't put that. Province/territory of use, we will put the country as Canada here. And we'll put Newfoundland and Labrador. We're going to put Canada in the country of use and save. So now that's been added into the information here. You can then go to the condition button. While this is sort of self-explanatory, this tab is used for recording the condition and the conservation of the historical artifact. So this is beware, if there was any deterioration, you would mark that down in this particular set of boxes. Relationships contain all tagged relationships of entities. So here you can see you have both related entities of the unknown artist and the current or previous owner of Miss Christina Michelle Smith. And lastly, summary, which you've seen, but I will go over it again, allows for viewing and printing of artifact information using displays. So basically this is what you will see on the front end of a website. I hope this is helpful, and have a good time cataloging your objects and artifacts.